Good day, 360 Familia. How are you all doing? Before I kick off, post questions, go crazy. It's been a while since we've done a live show, so it's really refreshing and nice to be here. Lots have happened, lots of news out. I'm not just going to cover the news, but we're going to be taking some questions as per usual. Like, share, subscribe, guys. You know the story. Support the channel. I literally just watched that finish of the New Zealand-England game, by the way. Interesting outcome there. We'll cover that in a bit. How are you guys doing? Please tell me what's happening. I love the artwork once again. I'm jetting off on a spaceship there with number 17 into the orbit or into the outer space. Absolutely love it. Best team in the world, the 42 team there. Thanks, guys, for your incredible graphics. Absolutely love it. Guys, comment, post your questions down below. I'm going to cover as many as possible. We'll do about 30 minutes today as I've got the fire going. I've got a little bit of news for you guys. So I watched my boys' cricket yesterday. Both of them played a game. So I sort of got a bit of an ankle injury in the last week. So driving was tough. So I took the shorter journey to Centurion, close to Centurion Park, where I've played most of my cricket throughout my career, where everything started for me. That's where my younger boy played, John. He's 8 years old. He scored 20 not out, and he's bowling leg spin now. I think he saw a bit of Rashid Khan and Yuzi Chahal during the IPL and decided he's not a seam bowler anymore. He's a spinner, which I love. I would never encourage anyone to be a fast bowler. I've got a lot of respect for them, but it's a lot of hard work and it's hard on the body. So we've got a leg spinner who scored 20 not out and he got a wicket. Very chuffed for him and they won. And then my older boy, AB, who's 10 years old, scored his first 50 yesterday against King Edward Prep School, which is a huge school over there in Joburg. They won the game. His very first 50 with his new 360 bat. I got them in the 360 range. So they look really smart out there and they performed like absolute champions. It's not always everything about, the emphasis is not always about performance, but it is nice to see when hard work pays off. So you can only imagine the mood in the De Villiers household is quite high today. They woke up with smiles on their faces knowing that they played a good game of cricket, both of them yesterday. I'm very proud of them. And obviously little sister Yenta, who's 4 years old, was there to support and clap them on. So one big happy family. It's been a tough week with my injury. I'm not going to go into detail with that. Had a bit of an unfortunate event take place last weekend and I've been on crutches actually. It's much better now though, so I'm on the road to recovery. All right, I'm not going to bore you with my personal life anymore. I want to hear more about you guys, so please post questions, guys, and we're going to be starting with the Australia-India series. And before I start with that and cover the game itself, which I'm very happy for India with a fantastic win there at the SCG. One of my favorite grounds in the world, by the way. There is the scorecard. As you can see, a very convincing victory. 236 was never going to be enough on a really good wicket at the SCG. Generally, you got to get around 300 plus there. I think 300 wasn't even going to be enough with the two main men I want to talk about, Virat and Rohit. Guys, so I don't know what it is about people sometimes, sort of, I don't know if I can call them people, cockroaches climbing out of their holes as soon as players get towards the back end of their careers. Why? Why do you want to pour negative energy into players that have given their lives literally for their country and for this beautiful game of cricket? This is the perfect time to celebrate them. Not now that they've done well, but I mean, they've taken a lot of criticism in the last few months. I don't know. Everyone's just trying to label them, push them down. For what reason, I have no idea. Obviously, I'm referring to the minority because I think the majority of people celebrate Rohit and Virat and their incredible careers. And it is a fantastic time to celebrate them once again. Rohit, another 100, absolutely phenomenal. And Virat, back in the runs. The biscuit is going strong. And I'm looking forward to what's ahead. I think they sort of just put the peg in the ground, showing everyone they're still around, you know. And I honestly just think if you're a fan of cricket, it's just really time to celebrate players like these. It's not often players like these come across our paths. It's a generational combo of talent that we have here, and it's really necessary for us, I feel, to celebrate them and to enjoy the last few years, however long it may last. Enjoy watching these legends play cricket. Anyway, 74 not out for Virat, 121 for Rohit. Phenomenal performance against a really good Aussie bowling attack. A big statement, I would say, for them. Yes, they didn't have the best of series over there, but for them to just sort of show what they're made of and they are. Some records were broken there, as you can see, with Rohit and Virat. We see the likes of Kumar Sangakkara there, Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit equaling him there. Absolutely phenomenal, these two. We're talking about greats of the game of the past, Sangha and Sachin. And these two are right there when we talk about, legends, talent. And as I said, please, if you don't mind, let's. What else can we cover here about that game, guys? I see a bit of Kuldeep Yadav here. I mean, we called out for that, for more of a specialized bowling attack, and it worked like a bomb. So Kuldeep bowling really well. What was his figures? Most wickets for India, 62 since 2023. That's a record for him. His figures I can't really see now. I will pull it up if I can. But anyway, he was phenomenal. Also, Arshad Rana, I know Rohit Sharma sort of spoke about, Shubman Gill spoke about how important the role of Rana is in the team. And also Washi Sundar, there's a place for him as well, because he is a specialist off spinner, but he can hold the bat as well. So Kuldeep overtake by a big margin, and there's no reason he shouldn't be starting every game for India, especially in ODIs, guys, where you get a bit of a longer spell. You get an opportunity to have more attacking fields compared to T20s, and you can really work a batter over. So, especially against Australia, remember we called out for this in the week. I said Kuldeep is the kind of guy that can cause havoc in the Australian batting lineup. They've historically not been great against wrist spinners, or spin in general, really. To have a frontline mystery spinner like this, left-arm Chinaman, was fantastic to see. Well done to India. Something to celebrate for all Indian fans there. It's never easy to tour to Australia. It was all doom and gloom, but they're back with an absolute bang, phenomenal performance, and at the same time, Rohit and Virat just reminding us all who they really are. And it's looking good for them with the plans for the World Cup coming up, and I think that is the main focus for those two players, is to get into the best possible form that they can be to go to that World Cup and try and lift another trophy with Team India. Alrighty, let's move on to the Women's World Cup, guys. I don't know if we should take a question or two there. Let me just sort of minimize this window quickly. I want to see if my team is on my case. No, they're not. So I'll take questions a bit later. Obviously, Team South Africa, the women's team, not ideal. It's such a tough one when you have a bit of a dead rubber. It's never a dead rubber. It's still a World Cup game, but they already know that they're going to finish in the second or the third spot. So I don't know if mentally we were as battle-hardened and prepared for this game against Australia. Obviously, bit of a monkey on the shoulders or on the backs of the women's team against Australia. It looks good, though, that they will not face them in the semis. I think it seems like it's going to be South Africa, England in that semi-finals, and possibly India, Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be a blessing in disguise for Team South Africa, and we'll see how they go with that. Not an ideal performance, 97 all out. The whole batting lineup collapsed. King, absolutely phenomenal for Australia, 7 wickets for only 18 runs. You're not going to win a lot of ODI matches when you play against a bowler who gets 7 for 18. Generally, really tough to come back from. Australia made light work of that chase. South Africa at least picked up 3 wickets, which is not too bad, but definitely sort of back to the drawing board and get all that focus and energy ready for the knockout stages, because they will have to fire from all cylinders if they're going to go all the way. And especially if Australia win that semi-finals, to meet them again in the finals will not be easy. There will be a little bit of mental scarring because of this match and of the past. I don't know how many games we've really had a tough time against Team Australia. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind they are the team to beat at the World Cup, at the Women's World Cup. They've been absolutely phenomenal and flawless throughout the performances. But yeah, there is the log. If you guys want to have a look, pull up that log of the Women's World Cup. Australia at the top, South Africa, England, India all qualified, so we know that. And it seems like even if India win, it will still stay the same. I think it will be Australia, India in that semis, and obviously England, South Africa in the other semi-finals. A lot to look forward to, guys. A lot to celebrate as the women's cricket really gaining a lot of traction, and it's fantastic to watch. Where I would say 10 years back it wasn't the case, and we now found the women's game in a spot where it really is entertaining to watch, and we're getting euros out of these World Cups where you start admiring some of the performances. I think I look at Marizon Cup from South Africa, and I honestly look at a style of play, and I just admire what she's achieved and how consistent she is with the performances. Many others to mention. I'm not going to go through them all, but all the very best with Team South Africa's performance in that semi-final coming up. When will that be, guys? Let me just pull that a bit closer. Semi-finals. I'm not sure about the date. It'll be around the corner. I will confirm that soon. And India-Australian semi-finals. Number 2. All right, post your questions. Almost there. Pakistan, South Africa. What an incredible test match, guys. I mean, we were down and out when we were batting there. I think we were trailing by about 120 runs. And it looked like we were going to, if we're lucky, maybe trail by about 50 going into that final innings, which would have been really tough to fight back from. But did the tail wag? Oh my gosh. Incredible performances from also Harmy, KG, the guys at the back end, they're really chipping in. Going to be absolutely crucial when you play in the subcontinent. As I told you guys before, the game really speeds up. Where it might be a bit different in Australian conditions, for instance, where the wickets really flatten out, only maybe gets cracks in it in day 4 and 5. Where in Indian conditions, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, from day 2, halfway through the day, maybe even early day 3 at the latest, the ball really starts ragging and the game speeds up. So any kind of lead going into the final innings is absolutely crucial. And how South Africa managed to do that was a bit of a miracle. And it shows you the character of the team. So I am incredibly proud of them. Harmer getting his, I think it was, what did he get in that final inning? 7 wickets, if I'm not mistaken. 6 for 50. Kesh also 7 in that first innings. So the spinners sort of sending a message to all subcontinent teams out there that we can go over to conditions that we're not used to, but our spinners can compete and do what the home team can do as well. So really looking good. I know they're playing Team India soon in a test series, which will not be easy. It's never easy to tour to India. It's a whole different story compared to Pakistan, I would say. India's record at home over the last 10 to 15 years has been absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, they had that big stumble against Team New Zealand where they lost 3-0. But I'm pretty sure Team India will be prepared for this tour of South Africa later. We'll take some questions, guys, about, I think there's one about Kagiso Rabada. Let's pull that up quickly. I'll close my window here and see how good was Rabada. Yeah, I mean, I briefly chatted to him that evening and just sort of said, you've always been a better batter than a bowler. And he sort of showed that he plays the most incredible cricket shots. I always sort of get frustrated with him as he's sometimes too fluent. And I wish you could just find a game where you can knuckle down a bit as well and get the ones. You almost is a typical tail ender where anything that's around that eye level, they just sort of throw the bat at. But when he does do that, when he pulls it off, he looks like a Brian Charles Lara out there. So that 1-6 against Afridi, reverse swinging ball on the up on a really dry and slow surface, 6 over the top. That's most probably the best shot I've seen, I think, in my life. That's absolutely incredible, KG. And the whole team, I think it was a team effort. You could not have done it without a team performance. Mutusami with that 89 not out. Sen, he's just a great player, chips in with both bat and ball. He used to be an opening batter back in the day, for those of you who don't know. So it was not that surprising for me to see him hang around. But I can play a structure and with a bat in. It's no rugby on today. The box will always refreshing to see the Japanese players sort of performing and sort of announcing themselves on the world stage. Who are your finalists in the Women's World Cup? South Africa, India, please. I'm hoping for that. I really don't want South Africa to face Australia in that final, as Team Aussie just looks. India will take care of them in the semi-finals. South Africa to beat England, hopefully. We lost against them in this World Cup as well. So not really looking great. So that's why just a good performance from the Proteas women's team in the semis, and then face Team India in the final. And then, I mean, anything can happen. That's my 5 cents. Obviously unlikely. I'm going against the grain, but I'm hoping for that. What do you think about Virat Kohli playing after the 2027 World Cup? And guys, I haven't spoken to him about it, and it's anyway not my place to share any personal information like I have done in the past, and still licking my wounds because of that. But in my opinion, that will be his final go at a cherry on the cake kind of finish to his career. That's my 5 cents. I think IPL is a different story. We might see him go for another 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years. Who knows? It's a shorter version of the game. It doesn't take a lot out of you, even though it's a very intense tournament. You can sort of prepare for those 2-3 months of the year and really get yourself ready mentally for that. Where a World Cup is a 4-year cycle, right? It's a really big build-up. It takes a lot out of the body, out of the system, out of the mental capacity, and the space that you try and find yourself in. Family time. We've heard Virat speak about that very often, about family time and how important that's become for him. And once again, I want to remind you guys, that's the kind of player you want to celebrate. Allow him to find his balance in life towards the back end of his career and just celebrate him. I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's changed the game of cricket forever, and you will forever be remembered. So I think it just deserves a little bit of, you know what, thanks, Virat, for everything you've done. Hopefully you play for another 5 years. If you don't, we're right behind you. Keep doing what you're doing. From a mental aspect, he plays a huge role in that team. Let me tell you, the kind of confidence the youngsters take from his presence alongside Rohit is, you can't sort of, I don't know, you can't put a number to that, guys. It is irreplaceable. Those kind of players, the impact they have on the players around them, and the confidence the players take from that is absolutely huge. So never forget that, even though they don't always perform, have been a little bit inconsistent over the last few years, they have a huge impact in that team and the team's morale and confidence. All right, so yeah, I see Virat finishing there. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but let's see. Hopefully he does go there and finishes with a phenomenal World Cup. Despite recent dominance, India's ODI team struggled in their first away series outside of the subcontinent after 2023. Do you think India can replicate their recent form in the 2027 World Cup? Obviously, I mean, the kind of talent that Team India keep getting in from on a year-to-year basis, you see that at the IPL, and that's the perfect place to look. I know it's a different format. We're talking ODIs here, but just the talent that keeps coming through in India is absolutely incredible. And there's no doubt, if they can find the right structure in that team, the right combinations, there's a lot of things that go into team selection and getting the chemistry right, understanding who your go-to players are and who you can rotate and play along with a bit. That is the most important thing when you go to big tournaments like that, is to have that balance and to have options, have plans A, B, and C in place for any kind of situation or scenario you can be confronted with during a World Cup. There's also injuries to think about. There's no doubt they can find that kind of form. They have the ability and the talent, but just remember, there are other teams as well who are also preparing for this, who have been in prep for the last 4 years to go to 2027 World Cup and go and win it. So it's not only Team India, but there's no doubt they can find that kind of form. It's up to them to sort of find that chemistry. I think that's the most important thing for them to figure out. Excuse me. Thanks for that. What are you guys up to, by the way, on a Sunday afternoon? I'm going to light the fire here because we need to celebrate the youngsters' performances yesterday. Not over celebrate it. I want to let them know I'm proud of them. But as a dad, you never want to sort of go over the top. Even when I saw them after their performances, it was difficult for me to know how to react, because obviously on the inside I am screaming of joy and emotional, but don't want to show them that I don't know that I almost want to take the emphasis of performances out of play a little bit and remind them of how beautiful it is to be part of a team, how lucky they are and privileged they are just to play sports, and always keep the emphasis on that, because I want them to walk off the cricket field feeling like that was fun, whether I've done well or not. I love playing the game. That always comes first to me. So it was really difficult because I wanted to really go crazy, but sort of kept the celebrations back a bit and just said, great performance, I'm really proud of you. And when they don't do well, same kind of thing. Well tried. Next game, it might go better. So I maybe you guys have some advice for me, but I will light a fire and we will sort of celebrate, and I will remind them of their fantastic performances yesterday, and also remind them of the roller coaster that sport throws at you sometimes, and when you can be at the highest high and the next week you can find yourself at the lowest low. But always find that enjoyment and passion and love for the game, because that will keep you going. And that will keep you going back and trying to sort of better the performance every time and keep going to the nets and working hard. Same with anything in life. I think whatever you do out there, sport, business, you always got to find that, keep reminding yourself of the fire in your heart and why you're doing something, and keep that love for what you do. So yeah, that'll be my go-to, but let me know what you guys think. Congratulations for your boys. Maybe see in future your boy doing magic with bat and ball. That's completely up to them, guys. I'm just here to support. Obviously, it is a proud moment when they do well, but I'm way more prouder when I see them conducting themselves in a good manner, have good manners, take their caps off when they greet people, look people in the eye, respect the opposition. Those kind of things are way more important to me. And then obviously performance and doing magic in the future. Who knows? The world is the oyster and they can do whatever they want, and I will be there to support them as much as I can, and also keep them grounded and remind them of the values of life and the simple things that you can enjoy, that it's not always just about performance. Alrighty. Thanks for that. Hello, sir. How are you doing? What do you think about Smriti Ma'am's exceptional performance? Yeah, I mean, absolutely phenomenal at the right time. And I think with her, it's all about the timing. It's been a quiet tournament for them, a little bit rocky, up and down, inconsistent with the performances. The batters at that point haven't really stepped up to the reputation they have. And until this game, they really sort of put the peg in the ground and said, you know what, we're going to be in the knockouts this year. And we will be a force to be reckoned with. So that's going to be a phenomenal knockout semi-finals against Australia. I'm looking forward to that one. India will need their batters to perform once again. That is for sure, because this unit of Australia there seems like there's no flaw there. So if the Indian women can put a decent score on the board, or if the top order can be in good form, whether they're setting the total or chasing, I think that'll be really important. And with their spinners and their smart bowling, they might have a chance. Unlikely, I think Aussie are favourites, and we all will agree with that. It will take a fantastic team performance from Team India, especially their batters, to make sure they sort of set it up, get that platform in place. Don't be over-attacking, I would say, to start off with. Really get a foundation in place and then try and find weaknesses in that Aussie attack. Make sure you go for the 50 overs, because it's really difficult for a bowling attack to keep that concentration for the duration, especially if you're building partnerships. So that'll be very important for Team India. Keep an eye out for that if their batters can sort of put Australia under a bit of pressure. But yeah, phenomenal from a fellow teammates. Hello, AB from Kroondal. What was your diet like during your Proteas days? Horrible. Could you give some tips on nutrition for training and athletic performance, guys? There are definitely no regrets, but my diet could definitely have been better. I was very health conscious, and I thought I was eating well during my playing days, but I'm 100 times more smart now with my nutrition and the way I work out. I think as a youngster, being on tour a lot, it was really difficult to find a rhythm and to eat the right stuff. Staying in hotels all the time, you can only have the Caesar salad that often, and then you got to try some different foods out there. I could have been a lot more clever, I would say. tips right now, I think I'm just a lot smarter and I know what my body requires and what I need to be in optimal condition. Obviously, work out every day or whenever I can. A lot of body weight stuff, a lot of planking. I don't pick up a lot of weights. I just do dumbbell presses. Other than that, a lot of pull-ups. I hang on the bar for 30 to 40 seconds and then finish with as many pull-ups as I can, wide arms that is. And then a lot of planking stuff. My core beach biceps for I don't know, for after your career. But that's one thing I would have done differently, a lot more during my playing days, and I would have been a lot smarter with my nutrition and sort of not replaced meals with shakes, but sort of a shake is so good to sort of just take that hunger away. You know, if you only eat 3 times a day, you sort of get to your meal and you're hungry, and that's what I'm trying to avoid right now. I never want to get myself into a position where I feel like I need to eat now. I need to eat. I'm incredibly hungry. So that would be my tip. Always find yourself in a position where you're not incredibly hungry. So that means eating more often, but smaller portions, drinking a lot of water, and sort of in between meals, having those shakes so that you arrive at lunch not feeling like you need to eat a cow to fill that hole in the stomach. So I think that's the most important thing. When you're really hungry and you arrive at your meal, you don't realize when you're full, and you sort of very easily can overeat. So that would be my tip, is to really sort of get those shakes in between meals, get the portions smaller. And when you go to the gym, do a lot of cardio and a lot of core work. I play a lot of paddle, which is a fantastic workout. It's 90 minutes. My heart rate averages around 150 for the 90 minutes. You can't do that on a treadmill. You can, but it will be a pretty tough workout. So playing paddle is something that I love. There's a ball involved. I'm actively concentrating about techniques and game plans and how to sort of get over or on top of the opponent while working out. And once again, it comes back to that point from earlier. Whatever you want to do, you want to enjoy it. I enjoy going to the gym. I put music on there. But a treadmill for me for 90 minutes, I've never really enjoyed that. You know, I don't mind running. I've never been lazy with that. But to play paddle for me, or to play a game of tennis where I get a workout while having fun, I think that's the name of the game. All right, I hope I've answered that question. Three more questions coming up. Let's see. Please tell me how fast it's 145 kilometers an hour to face. There's a huge difference, and you won't believe me, between 145 and 150. Let me tell you that. 145 is still, it's fast. And the only way to prepare for that is through practice. I remember I actually told that story because the match of my 8-year-old son was at Centurion High School yesterday. And when I was 15 years old, I played my very first game against Dale Steyn that day at that very, very field. And I had sort of memories just watching or seeing the cricket field. And I told the guys next to me, that's where I faced Dale Steyn for the first time. And I remember facing the first volley ball, and I could hardly see the delivery because I was just not used to that kind of pace at the age of 15. Not long after, I sort of got exposed to that kind of pace a lot more often. And obviously during my Proteas days, international cricket, that's how you prepare. I would go into a bowling machine, put it to a pace that's sort of uncomfortable, and just train your eye to get used to that. You will be incredibly surprised at how quickly your body adapts and your brain. The messaging just gets faster and better. I would always prepare like that before a big Australia series with their kind of pace, Cummins, Mitchell Johnson, Mitchell Stark, that kind of pace. I would always tell Alan Donald back in the day, take that stick and try and take my head off in the nets. So there are nets. It's not comfortable. We would always have it a bit shorter than the usual pitch length, and he would just literally try and take my helmet off. Not nice to practice like that, but walking out, when I faced Cummins and Stark and Johnson in the test match in Joburg that day, it felt to me like they were medium paces. And that's the kind of place you want to be in, where 145 feels like I've got time to make decisions here, you know. So 145 is quick if you're not used to it. If you do that all the time and you prepare like that, it becomes playable. But then there is a different level, 150, 155, where even if you prepare, it's not comfortable. It's not ever going to be comfortable. But that's Shoaib Akhtars of the world, those kind of people that really rushed me. And maybe I didn't prepare accordingly. I was quite young, early 20s, and didn't know that you have to put in the hard yards. You have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position in the nets so that the game day gets a lot easier. And that's a message to anyone out there who play cricket. Make your net sessions uncomfortable. We would have a lot of batters in the UK back in the day. So the UK, like the Oval, for instance, they would have huge strips. Obviously, there's the match middle pitch that you play on, but you would practice on the ground. So they would put nets up on the side strips, and they would be very green and not comfortable to bat against. And a lot of batters would have the option when the ball's moving around too much, hitting them on the ribs, to go out and just to get throwdowns. And I would always tell the coach, I don't care how many times I get hit here. This is the kind of preparation I want. I want to be uncomfortable. I want to see if I can't maybe not get dismissed in this net session. And that would be my only goal, preparing for a test match. Very uncomfortable with Morne Morkel, Philander, Steyn, and all I have to tell myself, yes, it's not nice, but stay here for 45 minutes. Bite the bullet, because game day tomorrow or the day after will be so much easier when you know mentally I've gone through a session where it was uncomfortable. Alrighty. Thanks for that. Couple more, guys, and then I'm going to greet you on this beautiful Sunday. By the way, hold on. I'm going to talk about Test 20 in a minute. Manchester United. All you Man United supporters out there, they put a big smile on my face yesterday. And I told my team leading up to this call now, obviously we'll talk about El Clasico now. And remember, you can watch that on FanCode, guys. Get your FanCode account ready. That is 8:45 p.m. I think that is IST. I'm not entirely sure. But you can watch that only in India on FanCode. So get it ready and go watch this incredible match. I will be watching that. Real Madrid, Mbappe, Barcelona. So many great players. Rashford also obviously there. Lamine Yamal is the favorite here in the house. So we'll be supporting Barcelona. I don't know how many of you will hate me for that, but I've always been more of a Barca fan. Also Messi, Ronaldo at Real Madrid always. So I've generally just been more of a Barca fan. It is 5:15 South African time, so that is right, 8:45 p.m. tonight. But let's get back to the main topic, United. Liverpool losing, United winning. To all Liverpool fans out there, I'm really sorry. I told my team going into the show, I feel horrible celebrating someone else's loss. But I can't help to be happy when Liverpool lose. I'm really sorry, guys. It was just a perfect day for me. United winning, Liverpool losing. I'm not celebrating their loss, but I'm quietly happy, if I can say it like that. Sorry, apologies. Don't hate me for that. I'm just a big United fan, and it's been a really tough ride the last few years for us. Finally, something to sort of be happy about. I'm not celebrating yet because I know there's a long season ahead. The performances have been up and down, but we've gone 3 great performances in a row now, and there's a lot to be happy about, a lot to be optimistic about. Still conceding too many goals, which I don't like. I think the 2 goals we conceded last night was unnecessary, but scoring 4 is obviously a huge bonus. Decent fixtures ahead for United, by the way, and my fantasy league not going so well this week. I brought Gabriel in as a defender for Arsenal, and the next minute I saw a little yellow flag there, meaning he might be in doubt for today's game. I don't have Mbumo in there, but I do have Bruno. But Mbumo was the guy who performed last night. But my money is on Haaland today. So hopefully Haaland can go 3 goals today. That'll make my fantasy weekend a lot better. Let me know what you guys do with fantasy if you're playing. I might have to share my team with you guys soon. I've had a really good run up to now. I'm on, I think, 490 points, whatever that may mean for you guys. I'm like in the middle of the log of most of the groups that I'm in, but I was at the bottom to start off with. So great comeback. Okay, last but not least, guys, go watch this game on FanCode. Last question about Test 20. You might have seen on social media platforms, I talk about that. I am incredibly excited about this, guys. Yes, obviously, I'm the ambassador. I'm promoting the league, or not the league, the championship that will be launched. That has been launched. It will be taking place early next year. But it's nice to be the ambassador of something that you truly believe in. These guys are targeting players between the age of 13 to 19. There will also be a women's championship that will be announced next year, I believe. But for now, 13 to 19-year-old boys right around the world will be playing in the Test 20 championship. Will be taking place in India. The plans are to scatter across the world and to host it in different venues in the future. But I'm so excited when someone's got the vision to start a new format and to focus on the future. We often see youngsters come in early 20s into the international scene, and they look like they don't know what's going on. They're confused. Now these guys will get exposure to sort of mix with different cultures, multicultural tournament. How exciting is that? Players from South Africa, Australia, Sri Lanka, right around the world. They will be scouting 300 of the best youngsters in the world. They'll be using AI tools, also motion sensors to scout the best 300 players, and then that will be the group will be getting smaller. I think around 90 players will ultimately play in this tournament, maybe 100 if I'm not mistaken. You might have to correct me there if I'm wrong, but just incredibly exciting to see the opportunity for this kind of age group to get exposure on a global stage. How good is that? I don't know. And it's a new format, guys. Brilliant concept. You're 100% right. Whole new format. So 2 innings of 20 overs. They've brought the test cricket elements into it where there will be a follow-on rule. The bowlers can have longer spells. There will also be the T20 elements of a power play that they can use at the back end. Just a phenomenal concept. I really hope this format, well, I don't think the plan is for this format to become an international thing for professional players. But the idea is to give these youngsters exposure to, yes, T20 cricket, but also elements of test cricket. So a combination of both, or all 3 of the formats really, and for the age group 13 to 19. So exciting, and I'm honestly honored to be a part of championship. The Test 20 will go from strength to strength. Well done to the team for pulling it off, and we're ready to pull the trigger and to get this championship on the go. So looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that. I will be posting more stuff on social media. I will be traveling to India as well to meet some of the players, to do some functions over there, and to create more awareness about this phenomenal concept. Quietly confident and very excited. I'm 10. Hopefully I can play this in a few years. 100% right. Nintendo fan guy. 10 is still young. My oldest boy is 10 years old. But dream big. There's no reason why you can't achieve your goals and go for it. When you turn 13, make sure you register for the Test 20 Championship. And who knows, maybe the scouting system will pick you up. And what I love about the scouting system as well, yes, there will be a human element to it, but a lot focused on technology. So there's no politics involved. The father of this father's sons who knows this business guy can't push his son into the team. It is purely driven by AI, motion sensors, a lot of technology involved. So it will be a fair system to get the best 300 players between ages 13 to 19 globally. And I think we're going to see a lot of surprises of players from all over the world. Maybe someone from Japan, from the USA, from Nepal, not just your usual suspects, India, Australia, England. We might see some really cool surprises and great opportunity for youngsters to announce themselves on a global stage at a very young age still. Truly exciting. All right, guys, that is it for the 360 Live this Sunday, 26th of October. I hope you guys enjoyed my presence here today. Thanks for chatting with me, posting your questions. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all the questions, but hopefully we covered most of it. Thanks for your support. Yeah, look at the 360 bets. Pretty cool. You must have seen me launching that recently. We're still sort of getting the range out there, trying to get it around the world. For now, it's only in India and South Africa. In South Africa, very limited stores, the cricket shops. I have a really good friend in Zaid. There's a cricket shop in the Doornkloof Mall in Centurion, and 3 or 4 other branches, one in Cape Town as well. So keep an eye out for that if you want to get your hands on that. But in India, I know it's going to go across a lot of stores around the country. And I really hope you guys enjoy the product. I've put a lot of time and effort into that design and to make sure that we deliver the best cricket bats through my experiences of what I think a good cricket bat should feel and be like. Have a wonderful Sunday, guys, and I'll catch you in the week. Follow me on social media platforms as per usual. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. And I really appreciate you guys joining in on the fun. Take care. Have a great family time, Sunday time. Cheers for now.